Hello there folks, and welcome to a 1 versus 1 between Matiz and Pt4h. Pag, of course, standing for PA Gods. Now, I sent this replay to cast a long time ago, and it's only just got round to doing it. And it is in the sort of updated game now, so you've got that lovely sun glare in the background. Now, Matiz starting on the southern spawn of Reef, while Pt4h, on the other hand, is starting in black on the north side. Both going bots first, Pt4h, of course, going for, well, bots second, and then many more after that. Matiz going for air second, with a few P-gens and a bot factory after that. So, now we've seen their opening build orders. Let's have a look at the map in general here, briefly. So, obviously you have this sort of corridor, I suppose you could say, between the two bases. There's obviously going to be a lot of fighting over it, because there's a lot of metal there. I'm counting, I don't know, 12 at first count, and then a few extra bits there as well. But not to mention that there's also the crucial bit about the naval control there as well. If you're just rolling my blinds down, I was getting blinded by sun. Anyway, so obviously naval is going to be crucial, especially in this pod, not only because of the coverage it's going to have over the land, but also because of all the metal in there. And if we go around again, we can see even more metal, and even further we can see a second sort of corridor here that sort of splits into two at both north and south, with a pond there as well, which can have some bit of nuisance being put in it if you so desire. Although players can, as you can see, have a lot of mechs in their base, so it's not too much to worry about at first glance. Now, looking at Pt4h's build, he's going for heavy docks here early on. That's okay early on, but you do want to do transition to grenadiers at some point. Not only that, but he is surrounded by trees everywhere. You're going to want some combat fabbers to get some tree economy going. Getting that early metal can really boost your economy. Looking back on the South Pole there for Matiz, you can see he's going finally got his second bots up, and he's bringing out a bomber with his air factory there, which is an interesting move. Do let me know if the music is too loud. I can adapt it in later on. So, we see here a push coming in from Pt4h. It's not going to do too much. The commander is there to defend against it. And notice there how Matiz was pulling a few of his bots away for the time being, because he knows that there's no point in sending them into that engagement, because he knows that Pt4h is probably not going to go full ham on this engagement. Pt4h has a lovely group of bots there that he doesn't want to lose. And of course he's bringing in the bomber to finish off a whole bunch. And well, microed there as well. Is he going to get lucky and shoot down the bomber? Not on that pass. Not on the second pass. On the third pass perhaps. Wow. These are some well-microed docks here from Pt4h. The bomber deciding, you know what, I'm going to give up and go and see if I can do something else while you're busy microing down there. And indeed, successful hit on a fabber there as well. Does go down, but hits a fabber and takes down a few docks as well. This group from Pt4h still standing only just. It's not going to do too much damage going forward, though. And Matiz does survive that nicely. Expanding out into multiple different directions with fabricators now. I wonder how long it's going to take before they move into the water. Now, I'm also going to say, having a look here, this is a very long replay. 107 minutes, almost 2 hour long replay. I'm not sure whether I'm going to split this into multiple videos as of yet. I may do, but it depends if we can get a good sort of lull in the action to do so. Now, on the other side of the planet here, good scouting with this docks from Pt4h. He is going to be able to see this metal extractor going up. If we go to Pt4h's vision there, we can see that, and you can also see the air fabber. So if we zoom out, we'll probably see an interceptor heading this way. Indeed, 3 of them, making sure that air fabricator does not continue to expand to that water. Nice locking down there from Pt4h on the game from Matiz. Going back in the other ponds as well, Pt4h just keeping up their scouting there, seeing all those 4 mechs, making sure that Matiz can't do anything. Matiz bringing in his own interceptors here, where he's like, you know what, I want to get rid of you lot. And in fact, that was a really good micro from Matiz there. In fact, he stayed them out of the range of the other 2 so that he could snipe one off, and that would even his chances when he moved in. Now these dogs over here going on a sort of back pass, they are going to take down a radar, which is good. Only just though, not all of them are firing, I don't think. Yeah, there are a few that aren't firing because they're sat in the water, and on the home front they are going to get slaughtered, which is fair enough, but they did manage to kill a radar, and they did keep Pt4h occupied, as of course attention is another resource, especially in high level games. And over here now from Matiz as well, going for the economy over here. 2 mechs going to go down. Looking very even still. The jumping numbers there from Matiz is because of the tree economy from this combat fab. We don't see such jumping numbers from Pt4h. We did see a combat fab earlier from Pt4h, but I think it was taken down luckily by one of Matiz's raids, which is why he's not continuing to gather that. And Matiz, of course, continuing to raid that mechs over there, successfully takes down the 2 and loses the docks. But that's fair enough. He managed to take down the metal, and now Pt4h is going to have that limited income for the time being, while he gets some fabricators over there to do it. So Matiz, when I've heard him talking about how he plays, what he likes to do is he likes to think of a strategy which is going to stop his opponent getting their economy. He doesn't like to necessarily go head on against their opponent. He likes to play a denying economic sort of game. So we can see that with the way he's sort of raiding the expansions and all that, and taking down the combat fab as well. Playing semi-defensively in this sort of stage of the game. Is still very early in the game, only 6 minutes or so, and then taking into account the spawn timer, so probably only about 5 minutes into the game. It's fair enough to play defensively, expanding a fabricator out here, but you see how he's not going all out ham and keeping Pt4h boxed in as such, but he is, however, working in many different directions, trying to deny economy. Fortunately, Pt4h is sending in groups of docks to do a similar thing, and we've got a few interceptors here that are going to do that. On the front side of Matiz's base as well, more docks moving out. We are starting to see the grenadiers come out from Pt4h though, as we can see there. It just tried to get a few shots off, but was unfortunate enough to step in range. Still no naval expansion coming up, but we can see continued scouting from Pt4h over here, so there's no AA going to be coming in there from Pt4h, but the docks of course cannot shoot underwater, which is fair enough. These ones from Pt4h here are going to be sitting there for probably until they get killed off, to be honest with you. They're just going to deny the economic expansion there for the time being, and this fabricator that's going to walk out and try and pick those up will probably end up getting destroyed there. And Matiz, does Matiz see it? No, he doesn't, because his radar of course is way out on the other side. In fact, does he actually have a radar? Ah, it's a forward radar. That is why he cannot see it. And of course we saw there that the fabricator did get killed, and now he's responding as a result with a bomber. But there are interceptors there as well, which he can also see, so he needs to bring in his interceptors from the other side of the planet. So you see here how Pt4h is doing the lockdown to keep Matiz on the back foot, and Matiz is saying, you know what, if you want me to play on the back foot, I'll play on the back foot, but I will at the same time try and do some sneaky stuff to try and deny you. As we can see over here, continued docks harass, just keeping Pt4h occupied, so he can't do too much. And Air Fabber over here being sneaky, trying to get a little bit of expansion off. We've got an anti-air turret gone up there as well, which is going to deny Matiz any bombing runs. But at this point, Matiz might decide it might be time to go into Navy. These bombers here are going to do a lot of damage to these docks if they can do so. Oh my goodness. Nice bombing run there. Not taking them all down yet. A little bit of damage getting off on that bomber. And of course, that evens the tables there. Lovely. Matiz mopping that up really nicely indeed. So Pt4h continuing to stockpile units in the middle here. I suspect they're probably just waiting until they get enough, possibly even transition to vehicles at some point in the not too distant future, because I hear that Inferno, Grenadier and Docks is quite a strong composition. And of course he might also decide that he needs the Spinner anti-air coverage for when he pushes in with the Docks, because he is finding now that his Docks are getting continuously bombed from the skies. So of course any pushes that go in with anti-air support will deny that to a certain extent. Now there goes Matiz's forward base. Nice push out there from Pt4h. Doesn't want to overstay his welcome. He sees superior unit numbers from Matiz. He's going to pull back there and save the docks that he can, possibly onto the home turf, because he knows that Matiz might not necessarily chase him all the way up, as Matiz is getting more and more risky here. Going a little bit too greedy. Could get bombed here, and this will be tragic for Matiz. Yeah, he sees the bomber and he area patrols it just preemptively there and decides better of any future pushes in there at this time. But he's got a nice expansion here with a few turrets going up. He needs maybe an anti-air turret or two to fully defend that, and possibly even a wall over there. And I'm really surprised we're not seeing naval yet. We're just seeing the sort of air fabricators into here, although I suppose naval is quite slow. But if you manage to get an Orca on the coastline here, that will devastate. And especially if you have something like narwhal support at this point for the anti-air protection, or indeed subs, that's going to deny any docks passageways through the water as well. Matiz and Pt4h are going to meet in their crossings of this water here. I wonder whether they're actually going to notice this and change their unit paths accordingly. Not as such. Matiz does manage to see the scouting going on there, though, which is nice, so he might decide to answer this. He did see the big blob of docks, and he's decided not to pull back and defend, but instead probably to go in and see what damage he can do. This side of Mati's base is really quite exposed, so Matiz really could push in there and do some damage, but Pt4h has seen this on his radar. He's like, you know what, I'm not going to let you get entry into my base. In come the bombers. This is going to be painful, painful, painful. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. The area patrol was too late there, and of course the superior unit numbers on the home front is going to leave that Matiz's push devastated for the time being. Still only very sparing on the Grenadiers, I think. It's probably just because they need the unit numbers for the docks against each other, and Grenadiers simply don't have the DPS. But Grenadiers do have the splash damage, which is a nice counter push. Oh my goodness, Matiz is managing to see this. He's managing to kite this all the way. Has he got some bombers prepared to go in for it? He has got a combat fab here. He might decide to put up some mines, but he's still getting that Trico. Unit tracking there. Incoming a bomber. This is going to be nice. Those docks don't want to go on land just yet, I don't think, because they'll get destroyed there. Might get a few pot shots off, but really nothing of any substance. In comes Matiz now with the air. He wants to get a bomber over there now before this gets too far into his base. Looking at the unit counts there, Pt4h is leading significantly. Matiz knows he can't really face this with those group of docks that he has. Fortunately, his bomber didn't get taken down there by the docks, which is good as well. Ends for his first pass, and that's going to be nasty. The bomber does go down, but he does take out a number of docks in that push as well, which is exactly what he needed, and that turned the tide in his favour really quite nicely. He's not going to let Pt4h get away that easily, but Pt4h did do some work. He managed to take down a couple of mechs and a number of Matiz's units as well. Matiz lost probably about 50 to 100 units there, which is really nice. Airfabber here sitting in the base being a bit idle, and Pt4h, again, look at this, continuing to keep the pressure on Matiz from all different locations and directions. Because of course in PA you have got the 360 degrees of approach. Even on a map like this with cliffs and water and stuff, now that the docks are submersible, and they have been for quite a while. Now this will be something that Matiz wants to be paying attention to closely. He sees a lot of air and a lot of bombers. This is where Matiz is going to start thinking, okay, I need to get back into the air game. And if I'm not mistaken, he's probably going to start putting up an air factory. Indeed, he does. He knows he needs more interceptors, and in fact, 2 air factories. Wow, he's really answering this in kind there. He knows, okay, I need a lot of air now. I'm really falling behind in the air game. I'm losing out to bombers here. And considering I'm still going docks, I definitely need to get some interceptors to take down those bombers. Otherwise, my docks are never going to make any headway, simply because the bombers are so good against them. Even if you area patrol docks, it only acts as a delaying, and if you've got nowhere to take the docks and nothing to come in to support them, area patrolling is just that, a delay. And here another group of docks coming out, walking into a few bombs there. Not too much lost though, but still Pt4h will now be able to see this. Fortunate, wow. Okay, yeah, never mind. I thought that they took down all the bombers, but they're all over here elsewhere. I think they're probably going to line up and maybe try and take down this lovely group of docks here. Or just go for metal at this point, which I think is fair enough. Going back to the economy tab there, we can see Matiz's metal is floating quite heavily there. He does need a bit more power, but his metal is okay to sustain his factories for the time being. He does need to build that power though, and we do see that he is doing so with his commander. So this raiding on the metal here won't do too much to Matiz's economy, simply because he's not in a dire situation for metal at this point. However, if Pt4h continues to do this raiding, then that's when Matiz needs to start thinking, okay, let's do some counter-raiding and counter-pushing. Pt4h going back into the green there, only just. And Matiz, there you can see the floating of Matiz is going down a bit. Not only is that because he's now producing with both of those air factories, but that's also because he's had less metal in the first place. You can see it's gone down from 180 something to now just 180, and Matiz bringing it back by building metal extractors in other locations on the map. Here we can probably see that those three have gone back up. This is something Matiz does very well. You raid him, he goes and fixes it. You raid him, he goes and fixes it. You raid him, he goes and fixes it. All while defending and continuing to progress in his own strategy there, which is a good hallmark of a really great player. The bombing run though, oh my word, taking down so many docks. Even the area patrol there did nothing, simply because there's so many bombers now that anywhere the area patrol takes the docks, the likelihood is a bomb is going to fall on their nose with a loud thud and a bang. Matiz's docks here being kited into an engagement. He really doesn't want this, as we can see. They're not doing anything. He needs to have better micro on that, and indeed he does. Incoming a bomber. Will Pt4h be able to separate this in time? The bomber does go down. A whole bunch of interceptors sitting over the top of them. He loses a whole bunch of interceptors to docks. He doesn't want to be doing this, especially when he's losing out to the air game at this point on a different point of the map. That was quite a significant loss for Matiz there. So many interceptors to just docks. That really wasn't great. Zooming out here, we can see that the interceptors from Matiz are back below the number of which you can count on one hand, fingers of one hand. Meanwhile, Pt4h's are far outstretching that, far outnumbering. Matiz definitely wants to get the air game back, but he's still only building bombers and air fabricators? Interesting. Why is he still building so many air fabricators? I don't understand that, because he's got 3 there, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7? What? Oh wow, now here, this is probably what Matiz is planning to do in another location. Rushing things up in the middle of water to make sure he can get that expansion back that he's lost. As we can see now, he's down from 180 to 159, so he needs to get that back. Unfortunately, as with air fabbers, as we've talked about in many past casts, they are so easy to be picked off, and indeed they do go down instantly to interceptors. Another docks push over here from Pt4h, going to get gobbled up by Matiz. But this air grouping from Pt4h is really Matiz's pain at the moment. It's his bane of this game, I suppose you could say. Not only that, but Pt4h is actually catching up to metal as a result of this expansion with these air fabs, and he's actually only a couple of mech sites behind, in fact only one mech point behind, and Matiz's expansions are not being replenished simply because he can't get there because he has lost air superiority. And that's what surprised me most about him building air fabricators when he hasn't got air superiority, because they are just so easy to pick off. But Matiz now saying, you know what, I'm going to give up on bombers for the time being. I want interceptors. Of course I'm going to need the odd bomber here and there, but definitely more of a ratio in favour of interceptors at this point, simply because you do still need the bomber to take down the docks. I think at this point I might double the speed of the replay just so it doesn't take quite so long. Has that doubled the speed? Maybe only just. I don't know. Maybe it didn't. But anyway, so yeah, still got this scouting from Pt4h over on the other side of the planet with these docks in various locations. That's really nice because you can see that there's a lot of metal here. It's not hugely protected, but 2 anti-air turrets is enough to stave Pt4h's hand for now. But again, I'm seriously surprised we haven't seen even the slightest move into naval, because narwhals will lock down this air so fast, and these docks here are just going to get mopped up so very easily by these bombers. There's nothing they can do against that. You see, as I said, once you reach a mass of bombers that's, I suppose, critical at this point, even area patrolling those docks isn't really going to help you. You lost so many there. But here is Matiz now back in the air game. Lots and lots of interceptors coming in, and they are continuing to flow in. Looking at all of these air factories in his base, they are all interceptor, and he is back at a point where he can really say, you know what, I want air superiority back, and I have built as many interceptors as you have in not too long. Now, this is something I missed out on. Apologies, I've been focusing on Matiz's defense for too long. Pt4h has managed to get up T2 bots. Does Matiz see it? That is the next crucial thing. Matiz does not see that T2 bot factory, so he doesn't know that sniper bots are going to be a real thing. He doesn't know that advanced economy is a real thing for Pt4h at this point. Now, T2 bots is crucial because three reasons. Advanced economy, sniper bots, and slammers. Of course, sniper bots have the range, which is going to be really good when making pushes, and slammers because Pt4h likes to, as we've seen so many times in this game already, raid through water. Slammers have a critical difference to docks in that they can fire underwater. And so any of this metal that Matiz has over here, as we can already see, there's one slammer over there, and it is beginning to really wreck face because there's nothing Matiz can do about this unless he sends a bomber over there. And currently he's still trying to fight for air superiority, so he's not focusing on bombers too heavily. I think he might begin to put a few bombers back in now. And do I see some vehicles? Yes, I do. You see here, these are what I was talking about earlier when I said supporting the docks pushes. We just got spinner. They're really going to help out. And the naval transition from Matiz as well. There's the narwhals coming out. They are so good against air. Not only that, but they also have torpedo launching capabilities, so they'll be able to lock down these slammers. Of course, slammers are advanced and so will withstand a bit of a punch. But that's still progress as far as Matiz is concerned. Back up in Pt4h's base though, because we've been focusing on Matiz so much, we can see here it's been standing for quite a while, but it's still quite something of note. It's a really good enclave here with a lot of firepower against any docks raids that come in, which will really significantly weaken any docks force. Now this one as well down the back, lots and lots of grenadiers. These are so good at taking out docks, especially if you kite, because of that splash damage that I mentioned earlier as well. Here of course though, if they're not kiting, they're walking straight into a docks blob, and you lose so many grenadiers as a result. So many just went down there from Pt4h. If I just go back 15 seconds or so, you can see the army there that just gets gobbled up. Not only that, but you also had bombers coming in, and that is where Matiz really needs the air superiority back. And he's now been able to see, oh snap, slammers are a thing. I might need to get some T2. Is he doing it? Answer, no. Matiz is like, you on T2? I'm going to go many more T1. Although he is going T2, somewhat surprisingly, but I'll get to that shortly. Keep you on the cliffhanger there. We've got a push from Matiz here. Many docks. Bombers coming in to try and defend. Matiz coming in with a few more air units there. Interceptors trying to take out the bombers. They are going to get gobbled up. They went too far into the base. A little bit too much AA from the commander and the home turf. But the spinners come in as well. All the air has just been reset, and that is the advantage Matiz needed because of the build power that Matiz has for the air game. So he'll get the air straight back immediately, and this will actually do quite good against Pt4h's base here. There's a few factories that might get taken out. But we did see on the other side, though, docks and grenadiers pushing into Matiz's base. Oh my goodness, there's so many docks sitting in Matiz's base there. I noticed Matiz doesn't like to rally many of his units, which really surprises me. But these grenadiers will be able to kite around these wreckages really well, and around the cliffs as well, because of course the grenadiers can shoot over those, while the docks require line of sight. So many factories going down here. This is a big blow for Matiz. If we look in the army tab there, we can see the factory count dropping for Matiz, but he so outstrips Pt4h in the factory count at this point that it's really a non-issue. Excuse me. But yeah, at this point they really want to retreat, and the docks are just going to chase. The grenadiers and docks, of course, moving at the speed of the grenadiers because they've been moved together. But these docks are just getting chewed up. And moving into the water as well, where they're not going to shoot anything. That was a bit of mismicro there from Matiz's part. And spinners, of course, they can't do anything against ground units, so I don't even know why he's there. I even decided to put up some mines on this side, just to be a right nuisance to Pt4h. Now, as I mentioned on the T2 game, naval is a T2 option that Matiz has gone for. Does Pt4h see it? No is the answer. This could be Matiz's advantage that he needs. Getting a Leviathan and a whole bunch of narwhals. If he can keep this secret, does Pt4h even see any of the naval? No, he doesn't. Does he know that naval is a thing? He might do because of the push Matiz made there. If Matiz can keep his naval secret until he gets a critical mass of narwhals and leviathans, plus a couple of barracuda submarines to take out any slammer counter pushes, that could be an incredibly powerful thing, because of course leviathans have such great range that they will begin to shell this base from so far away, and Pt4h will have to really desperately answer it or risk losing the game. This is where maps like this, where you've got a balance between land and naval, really become interesting, because when you get to T2 Navy, if everything goes out of kilter because of the Leviathan's range and power, especially against docks and grenadier hordes like this, Leviathans will chew this up in no time. Matiz, of course, having to retreat a little bit here. His army consists almost entirely of spinners, and of course, as I said earlier, they don't do anything against ground units. So he needs to pull those back until he has a more substantial ground force. Here he might even decide to get some bombers coming in. Is he building a few? He's building one from that air factory over there. He might want to put in a few more bombers. He now has air superiority back for the time being. Oh my goodness, the commander on such low health. I did not see that. I would assume that's because of Matiz's push a minute ago when the commander had to defend. But wow. Sorry I didn't see that. 13 health? 13%? That is insane. Matiz might decide to do a similar thing here, ramboing in with his comm to defend with a few Uber cannons. But the thing is, Pt4h's units here are far too spread out for an Uber cannon to really be good, and I think Matiz realises that. And too many grenadiers with kiteable micro there. Interesting here, we can see that we might see a sort of defensive flank manoeuvre from Matiz to take out this push in from Pt4h, but the backbone of this army is really those slammers. In come a couple of bombers. They're going to do, yes, good damage there. Still alive. Of course, the grenadiers can't really shoot the bombers down. I think I have seen grenadiers shoot them down before when they get lucky, but they can't target bombers as such, whereas docks can. And wow, in comes the air superiority from Pt4h. This air game is being traded faster than Magic the Gathering cards in a Magic the Gathering convention. Wow. I suppose air superiority is back to Pt4h at this point, and so many air fabbers from Matiz again. Still looking in the factory count here, Matiz is outstripping, and Pt4h has actually got more units, but so many fabbers from Matiz there. That'll be all those air fabbers, and the metal is back in Pt4h's favour. That's probably also to do with the T2. But here we can see the narwhals shelling from the coastline, doing a fair bit of damage to that T2 factory. Actually, if he manages to take down that factory, that'll be a really good win for just two narwhals doing their work. And of course, bombers can't really touch this unless you have enough bombers to touch it, because narwhals are just so good. Pt4h realizing, okay, I need to move into naval. Let's move into naval. Let's protect myself against bombers. Let's put up a whole bunch of anti-air. Oh my goodness, just so much Galata. Wow. That T2 bot factory is getting hurt. And another push coming in from Pt4h. I really need to speed up this Rube Faye. Why is it not speeding up when I ask it to speed up? I don't know. You can always skip portions of it now that we're only, I don't know, a fifth of the way in. Probably closer to a quarter now, to be honest, but I can tell this is going to be a give and take match. And a bomber coming in. Wow, it's going to do a lot of damage there to the docks. Another bomber as well. The area patrols aren't going to do too much damage. The interceptor's coming back in from Pt4h to deal with the... Oh my goodness. Here though, the Infernos at the front of the army. I don't want to go in just yet. They realise there's no need. Pt4h's retreating. There's no need to trade these units. I'll just keep them back. Keep them safe. Keep them secret. T2 Navy is almost up. This will be something of a shocker when... Oh, the air fabber goes! And there's the scout from Pt4h. He now sees that that's a real thing. He'll probably start to put up some torpedoes or indeed retreat his commander out of the water here now that he knows he's in real danger. Because T2 Naval, you have the advantage to spit out submarines. Like, I don't know. But yeah, up comes the Leviathan. This thing is nasty. 3 gun emplacements, broadside ability. That's nasty. More slammers though, these have probably been diverted to go and take this thing down. They're probably going to move through here rather than over this land if they'd been micro correctly, and they'll take down a few mechs on the way past. But wow, the superiority from Pt4h is back. Just more engagements on Matiz's front door. You see how he's just defending at this point. He knows he doesn't need to push out because he knows Pt4h might not necessarily push in just yet. So Matiz is not pushing out. He's not losing too many units in the chase, getting kited out. He's saying, you know what? You're fine poking me, but I'm going to keep building up my units just like you are. And so you'll only ever just be poking me. And with all of your air units there, I'm going to keep my spinner count up just so that you can't really do too much bombing of my units. And here we have the two-pronged push, maybe, from Matiz. Is he going to commit? Is he going to commit? Or it looks like he's getting kited on this side. Oh, Pt4h's pulling back. Matiz will probably pull back at the same time now as well. Wow, the slammers, where did they go? Mixed in with here, I believe. Right, I think it's getting to that point where we can probably start to skip through the replay. Pt4h getting his commander out of that pond and back into his main base there, getting up another T2 bot factory. Ooh, okay, yeah, I think this is where he might start to put in some sniper bots so that he can stay at that poking distance and actually start to do more damage. Or maybe he's just trying to up his slammer count because, of course, slammers can take many, many more hits. But he's actually falling behind a little bit here, I think. He's only just holding on with the economy, but I don't know. I think in the grand scheme of things, he's been boxed in quite a bit. But we will have to see how this naval changes the game now, because he has got orcas, he has got leviathans. I'm surprised he's not keeping up to production with his narwhals, though, because those are going to be crucial in defending the leviathans from bombing runs. Back over on the main front, though, we can see that Pt4h is finally pushing in. In come the bombers, trying to drop a few bombs, but Pt4h's air superiority is too strong. It is just too strong. And Matiz, this is where the air superiority of Matiz that really needs to come back in, because he can't continue to do these bombing attacks to try and reduce Pt4h's unit count if he doesn't have air superiority. Yes, his bombers go down. Yes, he takes down a few units. And actually, I take back my comment because he has weakened his units significantly to the point that if he wanted to, he could move these units out of the back here and flank and then push these ones out. The disadvantage with that, though, is that this is mostly slammers and docks, and they can just walk straight back through the pond there. And with Matiz not having T2 bots just yet, he won't be able to chase and actually do damage. If he does chase, he'll lose out because, of course, the slammers can shoot underwater. I'm really surprised that Matiz is not going T2 bots at this point. Perhaps he hopes that the T2 Navy will do the trick for him. We can see here the Leviathan coming round the cliffs. Really nicely there. There must be maybe a little bit for a nice shot there. The Leviathan's coming round the cliffs. There we are. Anyway, zooming back out though, we can see that Pt4h continuing with the air superiority. What is he getting out of that LT2 bot factory? Not a lot just yet. He has the economy to be able to use it though, so I'm surprised he's not. What has he queued up? Has he queued up anything? Answer to that is no. I'm surprised that his commander isn't building anything at this point. Just lots of area patrols. What is he doing with his commander there? I'm really intrigued at this point. What could he be hoping to achieve? Excuse me while I try and get a USB back into my computer. There we go. It's got my keyboard lighting back up so I can actually see in my dimly lit room. So, yeah, there we go. Leviathan's reaching the shoreline. They are not broadsiding though. Oh no, 4 cannons. My mistake. I said 3 earlier. But yeah, now he's really going to be able to do some damage to this T2 bots. He's been able to see that that's where the bot factory was for quite a while, and now he's laying siege to it. So he's saying, you know what, your slammers are not going to be able to be built from that side, and that's actually probably why Pt4h built it over here, so that he does still have the slammer production, because he knew that this one would go down eventually when he saw that the T2 naval was going up. Wow, the planning in advance from these players. I suppose at this point Matiz is going to want to do something about the the second bot factory, although does he see it? That's the question. No, he doesn't. He doesn't see all of this stuff. Does he have his priority back? Definitely not. Oh my goodness! What? Okay, let's just go back about 30 seconds. Matiz just lost his base. What? Wow, okay, so yeah, this is where the slammers really come in with the grenadiers as well. And Matiz just doesn't have the grenadier count to do the splash damage. And because he's kiting with majority of docks, he's really not doing anything. He doesn't have the range there, and the grenadiers aren't in range to do any damage either. He's losing all his factories there back in the army count. He's just been halved for factory count, which really isn't good. This is not good news for Matiz. Not in the slightest. That's just destroyed his base. Leviathans are just in range though, but... Wow. Matiz's commander, of course, safe on the other side of the base, if not in the water, which is fair enough, but... Wow. Matiz losing his base like that was unexpected, and I didn't see it coming on. Oh, we see stingrays. That's not what I expected to see. Perhaps Matiz is anticipating going orbital? No, Matiz doesn't know how to use orbital. Can't be orbital. Let's go back up to Pt4h's base and see if we can get some nice shots over here. We got some T2 economy going on. There's the other bot factory. The one over this side has been destroyed now, and the Leviathans are still there. Air fabbers from Matiz. Ooh, so he's made a forward staging area here. That's quite nice. In Pt4h's back door. So Matiz has lost his front door, but Pt4h's lost his back. Ah. I don't know whether Matiz considers that an equal trade or not, but still Pt4h's commander though, look at that. That is so worryingly low. And it's relatively open as well, especially when Pt4 makes his pushes. If Matiz gets a few lucky hits off from one thing or another, that commander will go. But the S purity is... Matiz isn't going to get this back at this point, and I think he might actually be trying to negate it by going into the water and getting his narwhal count up. Having said that, I don't see the narwhal count, so... I don't know, Matiz is definitely behind at this point. He's lost the air game, he's losing out to bombers, and without his narwhal count, he's not going to be able to do too much against the bombers, although he does have quite a few Galata turrets. And Pt4 will just be mopping up Matiz's spare parts now. Matiz still with the Trico though. Ha ha ha. He does need some economy now though. He needs his power back. As Pt4's been in positive economy for too long. In come the docks though, through the back door. This could be the counter to Pt4 at this point. Come the Stingray. That's going to do some nasty shelling. He's seen that that's where the commander is. He's seen that the air superiority is there. He needs to be careful. I can't remember quite how good the Stingray is against air. I'm not sure it is good enough. And the docks though. Leviathans as well. Oh, but the Galata cannons. Pt4 thinking better of that, and Matiz, having area patrolled all his docks, will probably now reassign them a movement command while they're all split up like this. Really nice. They will start to bottleneck up between the building wrecks though. But look at the Leviathan shots though. The rest of the planet, that is insane. A few more factories could go down here if Matiz just focuses on them. Focus the factories. Down goes an air factory, a bot factory, and a bit of advanced eco as well. I think he's saying, you know what, I'm just going to see what I can kill now. I'm not going to bother running out. I did some decent damage there, looking back in the army tab. It's like the game has been reset, it's just everyone has a whole bunch of military units. Back down to single digit factory counts, and oh, there's the deep space. Maybe Pt4 is anticipating that Matiz might go orbital as well, but as I was saying earlier, Matiz doesn't understand orbital from what we remember. Of course, at this point, I think it might be a bit rude and naive to say that he doesn't understand it at all. I think he's probably learnt his lesson and looked into it a bit more. But still, orbital is still very rarely seen in 1v1s. Really, really rarely seen. Especially in the higher levels, simply because you're focusing so much on the ground. And oh, the slammers are going to wreck this T2 naval base. This is where you need some torpedoes to go up. The wall's desperately going up there from Matiz, trying to repair the T2 naval factory. He doesn't want that to go down. Down goes the T2 naval fabricator. Oh my goodness. Oh, the Grenadiers doing some good work there on the shore, though. Wasn't anticipating that, but the naval factory stays alive. That's what he needs. I've never seen Grenadiers used to defend against a slammer push like that. Now he needs to get out the T2 naval fabricator again and get up the torpedoes. I did say earlier, didn't I, that the slammers would probably be used to try and take out that T2 naval encampment, but it didn't really work. Oh, there's the orbital from Pt4h. So Pt4h is getting it up so that he can see what's going on, because that is now his strat. Does Matiz see it? No, he doesn't! Oh! This could change the game up. This is going to get into BS territory really, really quickly. They might even see some unit cannons, I don't know. But the Leviathans are here. Let's skip forward about 30 seconds, because I think we're at a lull in the action here, so... Yeah, so the orbital launcher is up. Fabricator's going to build an orbital factory. Probably get out some radars, maybe even some solar panels, and following up with some anchors perhaps, as anchors will lock this place down very, very rapidly. Another potential push from Pt4h. Matiz really can't answer this, to be honest. There's not a lot he can do. But, I don't know, I'm just trying to think about what strategies these players might be going for at this point. I think Matiz is just trying to consolidate a little bit. Maybe bolster up a bit of defense. In fact, Matiz has been playing intelligently. I've glanced over this. Stingrays have missiles which can shoot orbital. So that'll be the perfect defense against orbital. Now all Matiz needs is a deep space radar. Has he got one planned? No. Of course not. Why would Matiz anticipate orbital in a 1v1? What shenanigans is this? So... Oh, the SXX. Interesting. As long as Matiz doesn't see this, this could be incredibly painful. In fact, he has the economy to be rushing out these SXX really, really quickly. This is going to be really problematic for Matiz if he can't answer this and he doesn't have the right number of Stingrays to be able to counter it. He needs orbital vision and radar now. Like, genuinely, he needs it. Is he building it? I don't know. Ooh, hello. Doesn't seem like it, to be honest. I need to zoom out a little bit here now that we can see the orbital moving around. This is gonna start getting silly. 2 SXX already on the field. Third one coming out after a radar. That's nice. So he gets the vision and the intel that he needs. Good. Good, good, good. Oh, wow. So, let's skip forward another 30 seconds and see what he's doing. He's just spamming out even more of these. Matiz actually getting back into the air game here with all of these interceptors, doing a little bit of scouting, seeing this going up here. He's going to probably send in a bomber and deal with that. He doesn't want to lose interceptors unnecessarily, though. They will take a few bits of damage from docks, but there you are. Has Matiz put up deep space yet? No, he hasn't. He's got T2 vehicles. That'll go for the shellers, no doubt. For the long-range capability there. That's fair enough. But, I don't know. At this point it's going to be really interesting to see what Matiz decides to do insofar as answering this, because there's now 5 SXX. If they find a commander successfully, oh, it's crunch time. But as long as the commander is surrounded by Stingrays, he should just about be okay. The thing with the commander, I think he has some basic orbital radar vision. And I believe T1 radar can see orbital as well, just above it though. So that's going to be crucial. As long as Matiz stays... Oh, heads up. He's just scouted something. Getting up the umbrella really early on. Yeah, he's seen it now. He's seen it. Having a few power issues, but he's seen the SXX. The Suzuks, as they're also called. They're wrecking these planes. Oh, wow. Wrecked. 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 So where's his deep space that's giving him vision of that? He's actually got one up. He's getting one up. That'll be okay then. I wonder how he could see that then. I think I might have missed something, perhaps. Ah, that'll be what it was. The radar over there as well. Like I said, the radar can see it, and he's putting radar up all over the place. So, a deep space radar allows you to see the whole planet, and T1 radar sees in the region above the T1 radar. So, but Umbrella's going up frantically all over the place to try and stop the push of these 6 Suzuks and radar there. Let's see what Pt4h can see. He sees shenanigans. Oh my goodness. He's getting Hulkins? What? This is some BS going on here. I never thought in a game with Matiz and Matar. Wow. Matiz and Pt4h. I never thought I'd see orbital and Hulkins and no land combat after halfway. What is going on? Okay, going back into full vision now, though we can see those umbrellas going up. He needs more than one there. And the Mex is getting taken down nicely. These guys will just continue to push. But they are in range of the umbrellas there. Pt4h wanting to micro those. He doesn't want to lose them just yet. Anchors going up, though. Of course, umbrellas outrange anchors. So, as long as the umbrellas, the fabricator doesn't go up in range of the anchor, it should go fine. The Leviathan getting hit, though. This is where Matiz is going to start going, oh my god, Orbital. Why? Why do you do this to me, Orbital? Those SXX, though. Just seeing how they devastate the ground. Let's skip forward a little bit and see what's going on. Slammer push. Slammer push. Let's see what these guys do with the slammer push. Into the umbrellas, against the torpedo launchers. No T2 torpedo launchers, surprisingly. The advanced torpedo launchers are really quite good with their rapid launching. Slammers, though, going to be able to mop all of this stuff up. T2 Navy still on the coastline. Just being a nuisance to Pt4h over time. That's fair enough. Pt4h's commander, back up to full health. So the early time when he was on low, super low health, he's back up to full. And look at the economy tab. I've only just noticed 513 to 209. That's because Pt4h has just gone everywhere. Everywhere. What? Oh my goodness. Matiz now answering the orbital, though. So many SXX denied by Stingrays, umbrellas, or pop, and Avengers. Matiz using Avengers. I never thought I'd see the day. Oh, wow. Oh, the grouped SXX spam. What? Okay, let's skip forward a bit more. So we've got orbital coverage from Pt4h in all sorts of places. That's really good. Getting the radar up and all this jazz. Still with the slammer presence, though, which is good. He's still got that T2 bot factory. That's pretty much the only factory he has at this point. Wait, what? He has 2 factories. The orbital factory and the T2 bot factory. Why is he still in this game? Oh wait, it's because Matiz is stuck to water and Pt4h's commander is on the other side of the planet. Ah, this is some BS right here. Let's get forward a bit more and a bit more, as we've probably reached a significant lull in the action here. Matiz going back into the air game, though, pushing out with the shellers here, going to get rid of this enclave, and the Hulkins is gonna go down. Not after taking a shot though, managing to do some good damage there though, wow. And the SXX come in to block the retreat. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Desperately trying to chase down, you can see that black line there where the SXX is. Is it going to get off another shot? Wow! It does area damage as well, which is great for the SXX. Oh my word. But the Avengers though. Why? Oh my word. I'm genuinely at that point where I'm not really sure what else to say. Matiz getting some good scouting here, sees that there's only really one factory in the base. You see that there's a commander here with a whole bunch of air fabs. What are these guys going to do? T2 air? Are you serious? Okay, so looking at what T2 air can do, they can get out the Phoenix, which is a really good air superiority fighter. It can also get out gunships, as well as Hornets. Hornets will work okay against naval, and if you have air superiority that'll be okay. And gunships will work okay against base raiding and metal raiding all over the place. But if Matiz is savvy, he can counter that with just air superiority, because gunships and Hornets are quite squishy things, especially if they haven't got the defense. And these SXX that were all over the place are by and large gone at this point. You can see there the umbrella in the distance trying to take out the anchor, doing so successfully. So many umbrellas from Matiz, he is taking no chances. What is going on? Right, let's get forward another 2 minutes, see what's going on. Matiz does know about the advanced air though. You might want to be trying to do that. And in fact, Pt4h answering with his own T2 vehicle. Why? So yeah, this is now a corridor of contention because there's quite a lot of eco down here for Pt4h. And Pt4h is now running an orbital factory, a T2 air factory, a T2 bot factory, and a T2 vehicle factory. And he's in the green. So taking out the economy is going to be Matiz's priority here, and there's a lot unprotected on this side actually that will be really good to raid. I think Matiz just needs to scout that a little bit. In fact, has he scouted it? No, he hasn't, so he doesn't know it's there. Once he does know it's there though, I'm sure he'll go and raid that within a jiffy. Because as I said at the very beginning of the game, Matiz likes to deny economy, and I think at this point he's just like, okay, how can I counter what you're countering my counter with? And it's just turning into orbital and T2 rock paper scissors at this point, which is really amusing to watch because it's moves and counter moves. And not a huge lot else, really. So we drop down here to see the Avengers fighting Avengers with an umbrella defending. I genuinely think I'm lost for words. But oh, there's the wow. Okay, T2 air from Matiz. I missed that. That's a lot of Phoenix and gunships. So yeah, Phoenix of course have orbital capabilities, but that's not necessary in this game. Oh my word. Okay, so we're only just over halfway through. What else can happen? Like, seriously, what else can happen at this point? This is bonkers, as they say in show business. Currently, I don't know. Is that what they say in show business? Since that song? I don't know. Let's skip forward a little bit more. See what's going on. So we can see Pt4h pushing out here with a whole bunch of shellers, but we've moved completely away from the docks. The way to counter this now is just to go dock spam and just run in against the shellers, I think. Or I was about to say bomber spam, but the spinners are there to counter that. Or even anchors, I don't know. But wow, the Grenadiers still being produced. So many bot fabs from Matiz. So let's have a look at the Matiz fab account. 74! 74 fabbers from Matiz, and he's on the defensive again because shellers are moving into his base. Wow. This is crazy. Let's skip forward another 30 seconds, see what goes on. Shellers exchange! More Avengers. Matiz definitely has got a lot of Avengers. Batar as well, so there's no winner in the Avenger War at this point. But these shellers are what needs to be answered at this point. And I think, actually no, not docks, because they're a bit slow. Boombots. Boombots could work here, actually. Looking back at Matiz's base, what is he continuing to build? Grenadiers. What is he doing on the naval front? Nout. What is Batar doing on the naval front? Lots of slammers hidden under there. You can just see the lights of their operating systems, as it were. But wow, you can just see how Grenadiers are just not the answer to shellers here. They just are not. Matiz is losing orbital launchers, but that's not too much of an issue. The gunships, though. Doing some fairly good work there now. There's no AA apart from spinners on the horizon. Radar goes down. Some advanced mechs can go down. Matiz doesn't want to stick around there too long because I think he's seen the spinners coming in. What can happen next, really? I genuinely think the next thing we'll see is a counter to their shellers, because Matiz has to counter these, otherwise he'll just continue to lose ground in his base, or indeed he can push out. But he has got quite a good air force over here. Batar has almost given up on the air game at this point. Yes, he has T2 air there with the Phoenix, but that's about it. And oh my god, so many anti-air turrets. And he's just got an advanced combat fab building them all. This isn't even a pro 1v1 anymore. This is just pro whatever. Moving in again, another 2 minutes skipped. We can see Avengers managing to counter Matiz's. Obviously there was a fight there. Batar won. Sat in the range of an umbrella. That's going down to shellers, of course, because Matiz is still not answering the shellers. He's got shellers of his own, but he needs an answer to them rather than just a, oh, I'll hold you off because I've got shellers as well. Back to the eco tab there. Matiz coming back with the metal, but the slammer's going to amend that very soon. 30 seconds forwards. Most of the slammers go down because of the advanced torpedo launcher, but a lot of the metal goes down there from Matiz as well, down about 100 or so. Matiz was up in high 300s, but that's all gone now. Sheller's still there. A lot of spinners though in the mix. Ha! And now in range of the Leviathans. This is amusing. Batar, of course, going into the air game again with Phoenix. Air push coming out. Looks as though Batar might have lost an air engagement, actually. Oh my word, there's just spinners defending everything everywhere. Yeah, we need to see a return of the docks in this game. The docks need to come back. They will wreck face so very fast and hard. You don't want to go too far in there because there is an anchor, but they've only got one or two gunships in there now. The Hornet's coming in though, so they'll be able to do some damage from a distance. And indeed, there we go. Hornets trying to take down some of the defences there, but they're not going to last too long as the anti-air is creeping toward them. I'm surprised we don't see Batar rushing in with all of his air. He could focus those Hornets down and do quite well, but I suppose the anchor has done its job. The Hornets can shoot at the anchors, I thought. I thought Hornets could shoot at anchors. Apparently not. That's a shame. What even is this? Are we going to see nukes eventually? That's my next question. Is this going to be won by a nuke? Or is it going to be a concede? Or what's going to happen? I don't see any long-term planning really by any of the players. I think it's just a slugging fest at the moment. Slugging match. And that's why I'm skipping through a bit. Not seeing a return of the docks yet for Matiz. Not seeing one for Pt4h. I do hear a Hulkins, if I heard correct. The FLs there doing their thing. Some Kraken submarines, quite good against land and naval targets. I think they also have some anti-air capability. I don't know quite what extent, because I have only used Krakens once in the whole time that they've been in PA. There's a Hulkins just sat in Pt4h's base at this point, trying to do some work as defence. Oh, hello. That was just something launching. Right, so I think at this point it's just to skip through to find some interesting stuff going on. It's been a long old cast. Oh, yeah, as I said, nuke's gone up from Matiz. Has Pt4h got an anti-nuke? Because if Matiz can nuke a whole bunch of Pt4h's stuff, that's over. It is over. All it takes is for Matiz to get a good nuke on Pt4h's military capabilities here, and it's gone. So let's see, does Pt4h see the nuke launcher? Answer is no, he doesn't. Not good news. He needs to be able to see that. Or at least build a preemptive anti-nuke. Let's pop forward about 30 seconds. I'm going to keep an eye on that nuke there, so we can see how much it's complete as it goes. I don't know, valid targets for nukes would be around here, around here, around here, and wherever the army is. Because once the army gets nuked, then Matiz can just push in with his army, and there'll be nothing to stop it. How much anti-air does Matiz have there? Some. Very, very limited. I think he's relying on his air superiority at this point. The nuke is ready, pretty much. I wonder whether he's going to get up a second nuke or fire that one first. Let's zoom out here a little bit so that we see whether he is getting up a second nuke. I think he might be. That's a lot of fabricators rerouted. I don't know, he's just getting up the air superiority. So he is planning on doing a comm snipe with the nuke to take out all the air, getting some Hornets out. This could be a deal clincher. I just skipped through the nuke. Let's pop back another 15 seconds. There's the nuke launch. Here it comes. Right into the pond, I suppose, of Pt4h. Here we go. And pop. All of that gone. Nukes, of course, hit orbital as well. So all the Avengers just got nuked. Back down onto the floor there. And that hit the commander, who is now sitting, conveniently, on 13% health. Where's the air units to come in from Matiz now? And just finish the job. Although we've got a long time yet to go. Let's pop up another 30 seconds. Wow, Matiz is Avengers now. I think Matiz is beginning to run away with this. Although that nuke, it took out a lot of defense, but really not very much in the way of economy. Only 3 mechs as far as I'm aware. Another nuke almost ready. In range of the umbrella there. But the anti-nuke is almost complete. It might start to decay, but he is trying to focus down the P-gen to get some economy back up. Will the anti-nuke get done in time? Will Matiz nuke in time? Because of course, don't forget, when the anti-nuke launcher is made, you then have to build the ammunition. So we started working on that now, and those of course get built quite fast. Next nuke is on the launch pad and ready. Matiz, you gotta launch it. Or forever hold your peace, because that nuke ain't gonna land. There's an anti-nuke on the pad now. There we go. So, wow. Hulkin's here doing a good job against this naval encampment, I suppose you could call it. Matiz's air superiority, though, moving in. I think he's trying to get the scout. He's like, wait a second, the commander used to be there. Oh, the Hornets just get wrecked by the Phoenix. Absolutely destroyed. Nuke coming in, though. Where is that going? That's going to get antied. Antied by a lot. Oh my goodness. Perhaps at this point it's just a case of the rest of the replay is just Matiz getting up enough to snipe. I don't know. Maybe Pt4h might get up nukes of his own. I'd be surprised if Matiz now doesn't put up some anti-nukes, because he's going to need them. Or at least he should be aware that now Pt4h knows that the game's gone nuclear, he might start to answer with his own nukes. So let's skip forward about 30 seconds again. Nukes going up. Again from Matiz. More advanced air. Matiz is managing to expand now. He's remembered expansion is a thing. He's got a lot of metal on the other side of the planet now. Pt4h has just so much defense. Enclave in there. Matiz got 3 anti-nukes on the pad. Not Matiz, sorry, Pt4h. 3 anti-nukes on the pad, but the commander's still sitting on 13% health. It's back to what it was earlier. Well. And the air game is real. The nukes are very real. Just skipping forward. Pt4h knows he needs to keep the air game because Matiz is going for the snipe, so he's getting up a lot of T2 air. Quite rightly so. And here these guys come. Gonna want to send in the Phoenix first to scout in case there's any AA. Indeed there is. It's at this point. Whoa, in come the Phoenix! The Hornets are going to get destroyed unless the Phoenix counter. It's nasty to see. Let's skip forward another, I don't know, 2 minutes, let's say. The nuke got launched, but... Aha! That's where it hits. It took out a lot of... yeah. Here it is on its way. That's going to take, as I was saying earlier, a viable nuke strat would be to take out all the army, and down the army goes. Oof. Now, of course, Matiz can push him with ground. Except he's not. This game. What even is this game? More anti-nukes going up from Pt4h. You realise Matiz is really focusing on the nukes. Of course, Matiz might just be using that as a sort of whittle down long-term strategy rather than a snipe strategy. I think Pt4h is focusing too much on it being a snipe strategy when it perhaps isn't. Matiz does need to get the air game back, though. He is losing out to Phoenix every single time. No nukes from Pt4h. Going back into the army tab there. Matiz's fab account is still an army in and of itself with 80. Oof. That's nasty. And quite a few of those are focusing down the nuke, I shouldn't wonder. Or just other factories. Everything's just assisting everything else out. And yeah, there's the anti-nuke that I said Matiz would probably end up getting up. Preemptive lead. Really wants to win this air game, though. Another 30 seconds forward. Manages to take this area. But he is bottlenecking now, though. Gunships are in. There isn't any AA in this army. But gunships are tearing it to shreds. Matiz, where's your AA? You neglected spinners, son, and you don't want to move your Hornets in. That's not what you want to do. You want to move your Phoenix. Oh my word. At least let your army get through. Wow, now goes some economy here. At least something good's happening. But, wow. Yeah, Matiz needs to get in the air game, and he's not doing it enough here at this point. Another 30 seconds forward. That push was refuted. He's still in orbital. He's not doing too much with it, though, and I don't really blame him at this point. Aha! Pt4h's counter nuke. Interesting. Let's go another 30 seconds. So this is where a second picture-in-picture would come handy, but I'm not a fan of the mod in general. So Matiz coming in to try and secure some orbital space. I think at this point he's just destroying things that he can destroy while his long-term strategies are beginning to build up. Whoa! I didn't see this building up. Slammers on the other side. How many torpedoes have we got? The Krakens will hopefully do some work against this. Krakens will be sitting there while the Slammers begin to spaghetti strat in. Pt4h microing them really nicely though, and the Krakens are just going to fall. Need some advanced torpedo launchers though, because they're just everywhere. Too many Slammers and they're going to take down so much power. Oh, Matiz's power. Don't move out your Orcas and Leviathans. They can't shoot underwater. Come on now. Come on now. Nuke is almost ready for Pt4h. Skip a few more 30 seconds. Looks like the Slammers got destroyed there. Oh my word. It's too much to focus on at this point. Too much. This is where single casting becomes a little bit of a tricky thing to do. Matiz's nuke is ready. If I skip, whoops, that was back forward again. Still nothing. Pt4h's nuke, not nuking. Might decide to defensive nuke this. That would, oh wow, he did. Oh wow. I can't say that was what I would have done, but I suppose if he had nothing else to answer it, may as well have answered it like that. Only makes sense. T's now got his own nuke. Up it comes. It's just going to get antied. Oh my word. Oh, this is a long, drawn out game. Just sapping my energy completely. Shellers are following it up though. The commander's still really low, so it's only going to take a few sheller shots to really do any damage to this. And of course, sniper bots are really good against shellers, so no wonder that's what he's moving out and building. Pt4h's still building a nuke. Again, Matiz as well. I don't think we'll see another nuke, to be honest. We might see another one from Pt4h. But the shellers are there, just standing their distance, keeping their distance, standing their ground, I suppose I should say. Oh, Matiz doing his re-expansion. Look at this, in all of this, he's just re-expanding. He's like, you know, I'm just going to re-expand. Why not? Why not? Let's get forward a bit more. Going out into the orbital space. Matiz has got a few SXX. In fact, he's got one. It's not really going to break through the umbrella shell, though. The Hulkins is there protecting as well. T2 Naval's influence has sort of vanished. That Hulkins, though. He's doing a lot of damage. Let's see what we can see. Getting to that point near the end, I think it might just end in a concession to end the game. I don't know. Will Matiz get a successful snipe? Pt4h's nuke is finished. Almost. He's probably going to defensive nuke this again. Oh, no, he's not. He's gone for Matiz's base. Will it hit? Oh, wow. Oh, that was so close. Oh, that was so close. And I think that might be where Pt4h realises, okay, now there's not a lot I can do. There's dudes in my base. I should have defensive nuked. And there's the self-explosion. Because he had nothing to answer this army with. Although I think he might have done. Oh, he lost his T2 bot factory, so he didn't have... Oh no, he still had one there. But he just didn't have the economy. I don't know. I think he could still have won that. But it would have been a very long and drawn out fight. But wow! Wow, 2 great players in PA using all theatres of war. Imagine if that was multi-planet. Well, that was that. That was a thing. Thank you very much for watching, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it wasn't too draining. I know it sure was for me. But there you are. So, yeah. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to drop any likes you may have if you did enjoy it. Or any comments or feedback you have on my casting or anything else that you want to add or even talk about and discuss with regards to balance or what you saw. And subscribe and share, that would really help me out as well. Thanks again, folks, and as always, see you in the next one. Bye for now. There we go, 3 nukes at once going for yellow! Oh, nasty. Oh, nasty. You don't have the power to have the coverage of yellow's base, but let's have a look at this. As they come in. Oh, nasty. Ow, ow, ow. Death, 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 and double explosion. Oof. Yellow's gone in one fell swoop. That's why you do stuff in free falls. You know, just saying.